Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well during this lockdown period. I know it's a really difficult time. Um, things seem to be moving in the right direction, but there's still a lot of questions that I've been sent by email and by Facebook. And so, as I attended a North Somerset Council briefing meeting today, I wanted to update you and kind of answer some of the questions that people had and that people had put to me. I've got the questions and the answers on the PC in front of me. So if I keep looking down at the screen, you know why. And I think the one thing I really want to say is that I'll try and keep the answers short and to the point, and I'll try not to put any spin or sugarcoating on them, because I know that that kind of thing really frustrates people. You know, I've been asked some really simple to the point questions, and I'll try and give you simple to the point answers. Whether it's not an answer or there's a bad answer, which there will be in some cases, I'll I'll just tell you how it is, and I hope that you appreciate that. So to get right to it, first question I was asked is how many cases of COVID-19 has there been in North Somerset? And there has been 323 that we are aware of. Obviously, that's tested cases, and that was as of the 13th of May. There is 151 cases per 100,000 people. That works out as, which compared to England, England has an average of 248.5. So we are favourable in that sense, but obviously every case is a horrible experience for people to go through. The next question I had, people are quite worried about the government's relaxing of regulations. So I was asked, what will the council do to stop masses visiting Weston? The reality is that there will be a big reliance on people not abusing the relaxed rules by the government. People have been encouraged to exercise and visit outdoor spaces. That's for their mental health and well-being, visiting popular tourist destinations and going on holiday and kind of cramming loads of people into the same popular spaces. I really don't think that was the intention, and we will be relying on people using common sense. To help dissuade tourists, the council car parks, the beach car parks, will be closed. There will be some car parks open. I'll explain that in the next question, actually. But the council will also using social media to dissuade people from visiting Weston. One of their campaigns they launched today was called "Wish You Weren't Here" and things like that. Hotels, guest houses, and all that kind of thing will remain closed. The council and police will be working with partners to ensure social distancing rules are kept in the town, with special focus on Weston Town Centre and the beach and areas like that, where you'd expect that these rules might be broken either on purpose or accidentally. I said about the car parks. The beach car parks will be closed, which I think is really good news. Tourists visiting the areas will be looking to park there, and hopefully if word gets around they're closed, that they won't come. Some will open, car parks will open from the 15th of May, Nightstone Causeway, Melrose and Welbury Woods. The bus terminus on Beach Road in Cewstoke as well. Those car parks are being opened according to the council because it's better to open up certain car parks for local people to use and use in an enforced manner rather than letting people park outside people's residential homes, which I do think makes a bit of sense. Obviously it remains to be seen how it does work and whether we can keep to the social distance rules on that. Somebody asked, are the public toilets opening? Some will. The seafront toilets will be reopening from May the 15th as well. Again, I'm not really sure on that one because it kind of sounds a bit like you're catering to tourists, but I guess, local people as well are being encouraged to go to the beach. We're not saying to local people don't visit open spaces. We're just trying to dissuade the tourists. So I presume, local people, the toilets are open for local people to use. How are care homes coping? So I've asked this question to the council because this is one that it really affects me quite deeply when I see the reports of deaths in our care homes. It's horrible because you read all these stories and you hear the families speaking on BBC about how they're just not able to be with friends and family in their final hours. And it's it's just absolutely horrible. I asked the council how Western care homes are coping in this situation, and they said the southwest death and infection rate is significantly lower than the rest of the UK. North Somerset Council assured me that these numbers are falling too. This shouldn't mask the fact, of course, that care homes are under just considerable pressure. Much of this was because of the difficulties with testing PPE, especially in the early days. All this being said, even though it's lower, it's still people's families who are being affected, and it's just horrible. The officer who answered my question added that the brokerage team helped the situation very early on. They were advising North Somerset Council not to discharge people from hospitals into care homes without testing them. And from what I understand, that didn't happen everywhere in the country, obviously not on purpose, but some places things did happen that made the outbreak in care homes worse. So, I'm very grateful, and I know the officer was as well, to the people who helped this situation by giving that advice. I just want to say thank you to everyone who does work in our care homes and who's looking after our elderly people, especially when the families can't be there right now. So thank you. So on to the next question. Some parents were concerned that children are being asked to go back to school as of June the 1st. Not all children, so your school will be in touch if your children are expected to go back to school. And whereas the government are encouraging parents to send their children to school if they're allowed to, it was a question I got was, will parents be fined if they don't send their children to school? And the answer to that is no. Parents will not be fined if they do not send their children to school. Simple as that. The next question is, when will years 7, 8 and 9 return to school? I think these years were asked specifically because the sixth form and kind of people who are due to take tests next year, I believe, there are some, and the younger students who I just covered, there's quite a number going to school for certain reasons, but one parent felt that the kind of year 7, 8 and 9, if you got children that year group, they were being forgotten about. And I can understand that, because the current guidance really seems to be that they're not going to go back until after summer, so that's a long time to be out of education. The advice I was given, and I know it's a poor substitute for schooling, is that they should visit the BBC website, and they're adding free lessons every weekday for each year group onto that website. And these kind of range from maths to physics to art to everything else, and they are good. They're stuff that they would experience in school, and I know that parents can't be teachers in the way that they want to be, and I know it's a lot of work for some, but that's the advice I was given, and well done to all the parents out there who are kind of keeping their children educated. And we know it's a tough situation for everybody. Do we know how long test results are taking to arrive in Weston and the results to be returned back to people? So the council officer was honest with this, and he said the answer to the question is variable. The current expected time is 48 hours if you use a regional test centre, and the closest one is Bristol Airport, which opened at the end of April, and 72 hours if you order a home test kit. But again, the officer says these targets are not always met, and when they are not met, this does cause difficulties, especially for key workers. The council's kind of reports, and just by kind of word of mouth, things do seem to be improving, but it's something that does need to be closely monitored, as it's key to ensuring key workers can go back to work, as I said, but also that vulnerable people receive early treatment. It's vital this gets under control. It seems to go in the right direction, but we all need to keep an eye on this. When will the recycling centre reopen? So that's going to reopen on Monday. The council will have a fair uses policy in place. So this means that residents should only visit once a month. I'm not sure how they're going to enforce that, or whether they will, or whether they're just kind of leaving up to people's goodwill, which, in the situation, I really hope people do stick by that. To keep queues down, there's going to also be like a number plate system where if the final digit of your number plate is odd, you should only visit on Monday, Thursday, Saturday. If it's even, it's Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and then any number can visit on Tuesday. This is just to keep queues down and kind of keep things moving along. If it's not urgent, don't put yourself in the risk. I know lots and lots of people have rubbish building up and things in their garage. But if you can wait a little bit longer, I'd just say do so. If you have to go, then just keep the social distancing, look after yourself, and look after the staff. Okay, the green waste charge, which is something I've argued against in the past. I asked the council whether they would be delaying it because it's due to come in, I think, next month. People, I wasn't a fan of the charge anyway, but at the moment people's wages have been cut, a lot of people, and some people are struggling a bit. The council says the green waste charge is currently under review and a decision has not been made yet as to when that will come into force. It's something I'll keep pushing on because I know it's not a huge amount of money, £50 a year. Could be a bit more if you've got more than one bin, but in addition to kind of other fees that have come in on council tax and other things, it's just another kind of amount of money to pay out, and it's not a good time at the moment. But I'll keep pushing on that. I'll try and get an answer on that one for everybody. Sorry, this is going on a bit, by the way. There's a lot of questions, and I tried to get through all of them, so I'll do my best to keep giving short answers. Is the council working with operators to ensure bus services are practicing social distancing? So this question was asked quite a bit, and the council seem to think that the operators are currently doing quite a good job. That some local people have disagreed with this, and it's something that kind of I'm told is improving. So the council said they're working closely with operators to improve the availability of seats on buses and trains. Because I know the problem is, the thing that kind of worries me a little bit about this situation is that once you get onto a bus, you're kind of trapped there. And if you're put in a situation you're not comfortable with, it's difficult to just get off. And even if you are able to get off quite quickly, you still kind of, if the social distancing has been broken and something has happened, you can't undo that. So I can really understand why people are scared about this, and it is something that needs to be under control. The council did confirm that actually in terms of queuing, which is where a lot of people have complained that they've been in situations they're uncomfortable with as well, they are actually working on ways to ensure social distancing is able to be put in place in the queues. So I presume this will be kind of stickers on the floor as to where you should stand and things like that. But this is something that I will keep pushing on. And although the meeting today was more a short briefing and you couldn't ask follow-up questions, I will ask about this because it's something that it worries me a lot. What business support has been given out? So £34.6 million of business support has been paid out to 2,841 businesses across North Somerset. There are 700 businesses that have not yet applied for support, from what I understand. That seems quite a large number. It could be that 700 businesses don't feel they need the support, or they feel they aren't entitled to support. They aren't entitled to the support in some cases. But if you've a friend with a business, you own a business yourself, and you kind of looked at the rules initially and thought, I don't think I can claim for that, I'd urge you just to take another look, because there's a few different funds that have come into place now, and they have changed things a bit. There's also discretionary funds where if you fall outside of any of the brackets where they say, you're entitled to money because of this, this and this, but actually you couldn't claim money, the council can look at your situation. So if you have a fixed premises, for example, and for whatever reason you didn't pay certain types of rates, they can now give you quite a significant sum of money if you were affected by COVID-19. And that will be really important, because there are some businesses out there who just have kind of different situations in how they operate compared to the kind of 90% of businesses. And without support, a lot of these will go under. And we should be kind of looking after and protecting as many businesses as we can. So yeah, if you've a friend who's worried about this and they don't think they can claim, just ask them just to check again, and if they haven't yet, speak with the council advice teams just to kind of find out for sure, because if there's thousands of pounds that can save your business or help your business, you should be claiming it. Don't be embarrassed or shy or think that you shouldn't. Get in touch. So I had a few more questions that were a bit more detailed that I did actually ask, and kind of got some of them I got answers for, some of them they told me to follow up with the officers. One was about fostering, one was about extending the length of free education is given to somebody, and there was another one as well, which those questions I'll get in touch with the people who asked them, just because they were a bit too sensitive for officers to answer at that particular time, or they needed to go back and kind of check some information. But yeah, I just want to say thank you everyone for listening. I know that went on a bit longer than I was intending, and I really tried. I know that some of those answers weren't perfect. They were a bit kind of, they didn't give you everything you wanted to know, but I do hope they went some way to answering your questions, or at least kind of giving you the council's answers to things. So yeah, it just generally, if I'm the councillor for North Worle, people watching this, if you're in North Worle and you need any help, always feel free to get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to help, especially the current situation. We all kind of need to look out for each other, look after each other wherever we can. And if you're not in North Worle, you'll have your own councillor, and I'm sure they're keen to help you as well. They're there to represent you, but also, more so than ever, the councillors kind of can help find people who need support, and also kind of make sure those people get the support they need, because there's a lot of support out there, and not everybody's kind of claiming what they need. So yeah, my email address is marc.applin, APLIN, @gmail.com. Feel free to get in touch. I'm on Facebook as well. And yeah, stay safe, thank you, and please stay responsible and protect our community. Bye everyone.